What's the topic you're proposing? Why don't you ever surf? Do you want to get eaten by a shark and not have wax on your board, or do you want to rip? Do you want to know more? Stick around to find out.
Congratulations, man. You're our first.
I'm ready to spice some things up, boys.
Yeah.
Maybe just say like who you are.
All right. My name's AJ. Andrew hit a pop fly when he was 10, and then me and my catcher ran into each other, and I had to get braces because I split my lip, and then Andrew moved in next door a year later.
All right, so yeah, we're here tonight because we're going to talk about Daniel's surfboard, the Dark Arts, which actually I guess isn't a surfboard. It's a type of surfboard.
There's so many things that we've encountered over the years. I remember the old, well, obviously the Tough Light, right? That's like, it was soft top, then Tough Light, pop outs, carbon mesh wraps, like the real open, you know, like fishnet type wrap stuff. And then there's so much stuff out there where like, right, surfing's such a mental thing too. I mean, you get in your own head and like have the worst day of your life out there.
Yeah, but maybe that makes it worth it. Like maybe it's just the placebo effect. So you spend you spend extra money and you think, oh, this is making me surf better, so you do surf better. So does that make it worth it in the end?
$5,000 board is going to rip.
Dan, maybe you can break it down for us. What is the Dark Arts?
So my surfboard is a Sharp Eye. That's the shaper out of San Diego, and it's the first Sharp Eye board that I've had. And it's the Sharp Eye Inferno 72. So that's the model. I think Philippe, he won the wave pool. Kelly Slater's Surf Ranch.
On a Dark Arts
board. On this exact board. And I think it also won Stab in the Dark.
Yeah, Taj, right?
With Taj. So for Sharp Eye, for their boards, you can do PU, or you can do epoxy, EPS, or you can do Dark Arts.
PU stands for polyurethane. It became popular in the 1950s and was known for its unmatched lightness and flexibility.
Expanded polystyrene, or EPS, is known as epoxy in the surfboard world, and it is lighter and more durable than regular PU.
I like when Andrew sent me the link about this board, and I was like, what the French toast is that? I have no idea. I've heard about Dark Arts. I just thought it was just some black board, some Art Deco boutique surf shop shaver stuff, whatever, there's so much stuff out there now.
So it's an EPS or epoxy foam, and then they wrap it in carbon fiber, like cloth, essentially.
Okay. So
and then it gets glassed over that. And so the carbon fiber, it's supposed to add a little bit more spring to the board.
Super lightweight, right?
Yeah, it's super lightweight. And then it's supposed to provide that the strength, and it's supposed to last because carbon fiber is higher quality material.
So Dan, what are your dimensions? What do you usually surf? Is it different than what you ordered?
So I think it's 602 and 5/8, and the liters is typically right around 31 to 32. So I keep on inching up every couple of years. So AJ, I'll join you eventually.
Yeah, you got kids, it'll get worse, trust me.
How'd you go about finding it? Did you just go onto the Dark Arts website, or did you do like Surf Station or like some other sort of board dealer when you were finding your board?
I think I found it on Sharp Eye, to be honest.
Got it.
Yeah, but Dark Arts, they have surfboards on there as well.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I saw that.
So the selling point is PU, maybe it goes out after a year. If you're surfing on it, once or twice a week, like it kind of loses its spring. Epoxy might last, maybe 2 years, and Dark Arts is supposed to last like 3 to 5 years before you actually start, where it's like you notice a difference that it's moving a lot slower.
What if you surf like 3 times a year? Is that, I mean, how does that stretch out the lifespan of?
I think it's like 20 years. That's a 20-year board for you, bud.
Yeah, I think you're good for life.
Your board is 7 years old right now.
How has it held up so far?
So far, I'm definitely a fan. It is an epoxy, blank underneath. So if you don't like writing epoxy, then you probably won't like dark arts, right? Is it worth it to get dark arts on your surfboard? And the answer is, if you know that you love the shape, then I would say yes, because it's going to go from, PU is going to be 700 or so. Epoxy is going to be kind of 850, 900, and dark arts is going to be over $1,000. I think it's going to be like 1,100. So it's definitely a jump up in price. But if you know that you love the board or the shape, like if you have a magic board, that's totally worth it. But if you're experimenting with the board, then I would probably stick to PU.
Is this something that you like to surf or no? Or like where do you stand?
I would recommend it if you know that you like the shape of the board you're getting. I would recommend it.
All the different technologies, it's pretty interesting now. It's like, it seems you get boards that last a long time. The $1,100 doesn't seem like a big deal. I mean, I'm throwing up saying $1,100 because, growing up, we used to get custom TNC polys for $340 from MDSC. I think that's what we were getting from Estrada. I always like to really be critical of the technologies. I wonder how much of it is snake oil. Like it seems neat and it's sexy.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, your wax is melting before you get to the water. Anything that pushes surfing forward technology wise, I think is neat and interesting. You ever feel weird paddling around on an all black surfboard where we are from? Does that ever give you the heebie-jeebies?
I try and sit inside of everyone these days.
So Dan, if there's like one thing that you like most about it, what would it be?
I would say the responsiveness. I first got on the board, I would look to where I'd want to go, and I feel like the board would already be there. And so the advice is to kind of surf at 80 to 90% and don't actually go full force because there's so much spring in the board. And some of that's the model, and then some of that's kind of like that EPS foam along with the dark arts, the carbon fiber.
Yeah, I feel like you rip on this thing. Like, it's probably my favorite board that I've seen you surf.
What about, is there something you'd change? Or you wish that was different?
You're kind of sitting on top of the wave more. So, sometimes it's nice to be a little bit heavier in those situations so you can get underneath the lip. But it's a really good performance board, but maybe not the board that you take out if you're surfing the bonsai pipeline.
Okay, so that was gonna be my next question. Like, if there were conditions that you shouldn't bring it out in, is it when it's like pumping overhead and like really big, or? Yeah,
like any wave that consistently barrels is probably not the best for those types of boards or waves.
For your dark art stuff, Dan, would you pick any other board that you ever owned to put in that dark arts technology?
The original neckbeard, and I had it with a squash tail instead of the chopped one. That would be a great board for it. And I also really enjoyed the sampler from Channel Islands. Both those models, that would be great for those models.
For functionality, what would you rate it and why?
It does a good job with upping performance. It's more responsive, it's more springy. That's best for more performance waves. The wax does melt on the board really easy. So
do you spend more on wax now than you did in the past?
It's just hundreds of dollars on wax.
I don't, because we live on the Central Coast where it's so cold all the time. I don't have an issue with it, but when I was down in San Diego, when I went down to Black's, or I went down to a secret beach break, like by the time I was down there, like all the wax was like, I could just wipe my hand and it would take it off. So
oh wow.
For function, I think it works great. For performance, so I'd give it a 4.5.
All right, what about style?
For style, I'll give it 5 out of 5, despite looking like a seal, which, you never want to look like one of those. But I think it looks pretty sweet being all black. I'm a fan.
Yeah, you're easy to spot in the water now. Not that you weren't before, but
it is nice. Yeah, you do the surf cam rewind or anything like that, you can pick yourself out because it's like, oh, there's the blackboard.
Yeah. Okay, then value. So I'm curious, what was the final price tag on this sucker? Was it worth it?
Yeah, so I think the upgrade from an epoxy board and then going to the Dark Arts, I feel like it's worth it if you love the board because it's supposed to last longer. I would go with 4 out of 5. If you love a model and they do Dark Arts on it, I would definitely spend the money. But if you're unsure about it, then wait until you find a board you really love.
I like technology and I like new things, and some of it's really hard to get away from like the snake oil aspect of it, And I'm sure the Dark Arts guys are like, oh, this idiot doesn't even surf, all that stuff 3 times a year. If I really wanted to dive into this, I think we should do a poly epoxy Dark Arts version of that same model and have him not know what's underneath his feet, when he's surfing, and then maybe we can get him to a wave pool or something, and you can do that, Dan. That'd be pretty cool for the everyday surfer, above average everyday surfer, and it'll be the poke in the dark,
And that's a wrap for Dark Arts. If you want us to review other products, leave a comment below, or if you have any questions, let us know, and we'll see you out in the water.